What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Tuesday, March 18th. Hope you're well. In this video, we've got an exciting update. We're going to be talking about March 27th, a key date to watch, and also April 16th. There's a very good chance that we could see the Ripple case end during that time frame, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But Paul Atkins is scheduled to be confirmed potentially with the Senate hearing on March 27th. So we could see him confirmed. I don't think there's going to be any issues. He actually was in the SEC before, and he's a great candidate. Nobody has anything bad to say about him, so I don't expect any hiccups or anything like that. And then we'll also take a look at the XRP chart, what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. And there's also a clip from Mr. Atkins as well discussing the Ripple case. So we'll discuss all of that and more. It's going to be an exciting video. Make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future content. And you can follow us over on X as well. Formerly Twitter handle for that is @GroupPow. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I do own XRP. It's my largest crypto portfolio holding by a country mile. So new, this is coming from Cointelegraph. Trump's SEC chair nominee Paul Atkins inches closer towards becoming the new SEC leader, with a Senate hearing reportedly planned for March 27th, according to Semaphor's Eleanor Mueller. And I said, if you've been following the channel for a while now, I said that I believe that they're going to rush this. And the fact that he was already in the SEC before, can't see there being any issues. And then also with regards to Gary Gensler 4 years ago when he got confirmed, it was toward the end of April. And again, I mentioned that it was more than likely they were going to want to rush that. And that looks to be the case. We're looking at potentially, just the end of next week. It would be Thursday next week, the 27th. And then also April 16th is a key date for the SEC versus Ripple case. I believe that's the date that they have to file the brief for the appeal. So there's a very good chance that, maybe they want to, I've said this in the Power Group private community today. Is it possible that the case resolves before then? Is it already even resolved? Potentially. But you have to remember it was adjudicated, right? There was an actual ruling in the Ripple case, whereas a lot of these other cases, there wasn't a ruling. So it isn't as, it's not as easy to just drop the case or, it's a little bit more involved. So I put it at about an 80 to 20% chance. So 80% chance that it gets settled after he gets confirmed, and then a 20% chance that it settles before then. But I would say at this point, if they're waiting this long, the writing's on the wall. They're probably just waiting for Paul Atkins to come in. And then it's a very high profile case. So I would put it at 80% chance that it's somewhere in this window here, maybe into the 31st and then the end of, the next week here before the 16th. So probably from like the 31st to the 11th, that is a solid window where we could potentially see this case come to an end. And I still think settlement's the most likely scenario, probably, drop the fine down substantially to some crazy low number from 125 million. I think that's the most likely scenario. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. We'll continue the conversation there. I always love hearing from you, but it looks like we're just mere weeks away from this case being behind us. And Jack the Rippler appointed U.S. SEC Chairman Paul Atkins talks for the first time about SEC versus Ripple case and understands its importance. I would say that this isn't just the only, the most important crypto case, just only in crypto. I would say this is the most important lawsuit in the history of mankind. We're literally going into the biggest financial wealth transfer and revolution that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. And I think that this was the case to really set the precedent. And Ripple's no ordinary company. It's going to be bigger than Amazon, Apple, maybe even combined, in my opinion, when it's all said and done, given enough time. And XRP is going to be the most valuable digital asset. Not in terms of price, I just mean in terms of market cap. It's going to completely dwarf even the likes of Bitcoin. So we'll take a quick listen to this.
People are running into, a brick wall at the SEC. There's the lawsuit against Ripple. A lot of things riding on that. So that's like a really interesting thing to follow in this space.
That's the core.
So that's coming directly from the horse's mouth, your new potential SEC chair, underscoring the importance of this case. And in my opinion, it's just a vetting process. It's just the way it's going through the ringer, the gauntlet, the regulatory gauntlet. There's two ways to get regulatory clarity, right? You can get it through Congress, through the legislative branch, or you can get it like through, laws that are passed. Or if you don't have a functioning Congress or legislative branch in your country, in jurisdiction, then you can do it through case law. And that's exactly what's happening to Ripple, in my opinion. They were able to, it looks like it was, the worst company, but yet they're the most transparent. They're a private company, and they release reports of, quarterly market reports, updates, and things like that inside of their business. They don't have to do that. They're a private company. And, look at all these attestations with the, RLUSD, their stablecoin, making sure they have the proof of reserves. So this is, like I said, this is a company that is really paving the way for the industry. And in my opinion, when it's all said and done, people are going to be looking back at Ripple and XRP as, the holy savior, if you will. But we'll move right along here. So next on the list here, we have Ripple files for a trademark for downloadable software for custody of cryptocurrency. So looking to extend its custody arm. This is really the Amazon of Apple. They're the one-stop shop for everything crypto. And Brad Garlinghouse said it himself in a tweet. Ripple is to cross-border payments what Amazon was to books, and I could not agree with that more. I think Ripple, the company, will be worth more than Amazon, and like I said, I think XRP, the digital asset, will be worth more than Bitcoin. And again, this is all market cap, in terms of market cap. But this is basically going to be a potential wallet that they could have XRP supported on, and they'll be able to profit off of the transaction fees, right? So this is another step in the right direction. They're into custody, they're into stable coins, they're into cross-border payments, right? They have NFTs. There's so many things, tokenization, real-world assets. This is literally the Amazon of crypto, and people are finally starting to wake up. And here's more proof. Paul Barron says, building the perfect 1 million, 100K, 10K, or 1K portfolio. Here is a round robin based on popular voting to determine a portfolio for the next leg on the bull run 2025. Yes, it's still intact. This is a multi-part series. Which asset would you put in your portfolio? There's 2,518 votes. It was viewed 14,000 and change times. 94.8% voted XRP over Solana, just 5.2%. So like I said, the world's finally waking up. It just only took, better part of a decade for people to understand that this is a better Bitcoin. XRP was created by Bitcoin developers, set out to address a lot of the issues with Bitcoin, slow transaction, high energy output. And XRP obviously is the high speed internet, if you will, while Bitcoin is basically dial up. And you have to remember that Ethereum was actually created after XRP and Ripple. And the creator, Vitalik Buterin of Ethereum, worked at Ripple as an intern, right? So he got the idea from Ripple. He got the idea of smart contracts from Ripple, and then went off to create Ethereum, right? So this is literally, Ripple's the OG in the space, and people are finally starting to wake up, and just giddy up for the next few weeks and months is all I can say. We'll take a look at the chart here. So we did have the 4-hour inverse head and shoulders. We got as high as $2.47 before we started to pull back. So did Bitcoin. The rest of the sector, we confirmed a 4-hour downtrend here with a 4-hour lower high and lower low. That was the clue there. And then a continued 4-hour downtrend. We had the 4-hour bull flag. That target was met. And now we're just looking at that 273 target from the inverse head and shoulders. I wouldn't be surprised if we did come back down and test, somewhere around that $2 mark before we see new all-time highs. I brought this up in the Pow Group private community as well, that, we did have a daily bull flag, but you have to remember that bull flags are bullish continuation patterns. What does that mean? It's generally more convincing and plays out more in a bull trend. We're in a bear trend right now. We have our high, low, lower high, and lower low. So we're still in a daily downtrend. Anything under this high here at 264, and that bounce up to 247 was just a lower high. So we're still in a daily downtrend. But the good news is we're forming a daily higher low now. We need the higher low and the higher high. What is a downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. What is an uptrend? Higher lows and higher highs. So we're looking to break that downtrend here at the moment. We have our high, we need our higher low, which we're forming now, and then we need the higher high. So key resistance is going to be 247. Break that, daily uptrend confirmed. We're more than likely going to see a daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. I mentioned this as well when we were looking for the daily bull flag potential. I said I wasn't as confident. I expected us to come down somewhere in this golden pocket zone around $2.11, $2.02. And I expected that because the EMAs were so close, were not that close, and we're pretty far away from crossing. And you can see here when we cross bearish, when the shorter term's above the longer term, downside ensued. Then we almost had a bull cross, almost had another one. Let's see if third time's the charm here. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we did come back down somewhere around that 0.618, the golden pocket, around 211 to 202. And then the reason for that is because we're still in a daily downtrend, still a ways away before we saw the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. And also we didn't start the daily bounce. So while it was great to see us hold a 0.32 fib here and maintain that daily bull flag, we still kept forming lower highs, and we did it again today. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did break down. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. This could be a bear trap, but I don't think so. I think we're more than likely going to come back down to that 211, 202, and then I think it's going to be showtime after that. That basically coincides as well into next week, which is Paul Atkins coming in, and then maybe we fizzle out over the next few days, and then somewhere around here toward the end of last week of March or first week of April is when we start to really kick it into high gear and see new potential for all-time highs. And then on the XRP weekly time frame here, we're still a ways away before we already had the stochastic and MACD bear cross. We lost the 10-week moving average. We're starting to recover. We're coming back to it as resistance. So we're going to see if we can flip it as resistance into new support. And we're still a ways away before we see a MACD and stochastic bear cross on the weekly. So again, I'm thinking it's going to be at least a few weeks. And again, that makes sense. I would expect some sort of resolution with the case at some point before April 16th. But more than likely, like I said, in that window of the 31st to the 11th is what I'm thinking here. And it lines up with what the technicals and the charts are saying as well as the most likely scenario. Is it a guarantee? Absolutely not. I would just put it at about an 80% chance that very well could happen. We're still well above all of our weekly moving averages. We had the 50 and the 100, sorry, the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average bull cross, and the 100 and the 200 followed shortly after. Last time that happened on Ethereum, price went from like $600 all the way up to almost $5,000. So just imagine what's going to happen to the best digital asset ever created that's been suppressed for so long. We also just had a death, well, it's not a death cross, it's the 50 and the 100 day moving average. Those cross bearish. So again, I'm thinking we could see a little bit more downside, but ultimately I think we will maintain above the 200-day moving average and come back and test that $2 area before we see major momentum back toward the upside. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of this news. If you agree with me, disagree with me, love hearing it from you. We'll continue the conversation in the comment section. It's Rod with Pow Group. Once again, thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.